Gabriel here with Bernard Lim, Summerslam for as long as I can remember. Tell him how long you've been doing this for.
How's everybody doing today? How long I've been doing this? Whew, that's a long time. I started as a coordinator in the Summerslam Basketball League, I think probably around the age of 16. I kind of got the nod from Andrew Mavis to take care of all the things. And
How old
from
are
that
you
point,
now?
I am 22 right now, so I've been here for quite some time. That doesn't include officiating, scorekeeping, all that stuff. So I've been here quite some time. Dinosaur.
You've been the commissioner of SummerSlam for as long as I can remember. What was your original vision of the league when Andrew handed it over to you?
One of the things that I really envisioned was to give kids the same experience that I had. I grew up. I played in this league. Second year actually this league started, I played in it. I competed. I was a aspiring basketball player, 10-year-old, thought I could make the NBA. But I mean, that was a complete long shot. Started, played all those years, had the greatest experience. SummerSlam was my summer. It was my summer. Every
And
summer.
to pass that on is so powerful.
Yeah, but every summer, the only thing I could look forward to was playing SummerSlam. That was a nod. Vacation or not, I would be coming back to play, regardless, half a summer, full summer. And I played every single year, all the way up until I was about grade 11, until I took over commissioner responsibilities.
Even when I was a kid, I always delayed my vacation until the last week of August so SummerSlam season would be over.
My family arranged so that I would not play in that last week. They arranged for the head cousins, uncles, aunts.
And the last
all
week?
come out. The last week, the playoff week, that was the
couldn't
week.
play.
So, it
But like we discussed before, the interest in the league has really gradually decreased. When I used to play and when you used to play, everyone came out. The stands were packed. We all loved and breathed the game. But it seems like it's not the same anymore. What do you think has changed?
I think one of the biggest things is just with a lot of the kids that play, the attitude is a little bit different. SummerSlam has become it's very recreational to a lot of kids. They come out, I mean, the top players, I'd say they're not as competitive as they once were. I mean, coming out, I mean, in the past when I played, when you played, I think the biggest thing was maybe talent wasn't at the highest level of caliber, but
they loved the
they
game.
loved the game. The level
winning
of competition, winning SummerSlam, winning an MVP, all the awards, any of that stuff was enough to drive a kid to play. All that stuff was so desirable. I remember wanting to win so bad every year. That was my thing. And I tried to pass that on to kids as becoming commissioner, trying to make sure the teams were balanced, the kids were happy, even the kids that weren't as talented, right? Having them on the bench and believing that they were part of a capable team made the league just that much better.
Speaking of which, when you see guys like BJ Dillon and Elliot Mason succeeding at the next level now, and you know that when they first picked up a basketball it was in your league, how does that make you feel?
It feels awesome. I mean, first of all, I'd like to congratulate both of them for what they're doing now. Elliot at Langara, BJ going on to play at UVic. They've had tremendous basketball careers, and I remember VJ as a grade 6 kid, a lanky kid with arms, could shoot the ball. I mean, Elliot Mason, who I had the pleasure of coaching for a few years. I mean, you kind of saw them develop, or we got to see them develop over those years. And one of the biggest things those two kids had over all the other kids was the fact that they were so incredibly competitive in SummerSlam. So competitive. It didn't matter who they were playing. The work ethic was unbelievable. What those guys did on the court was just, it didn't matter who they were playing. 4 players, 5 players, playing the worst team, these guys would be aiming at dropping, scoring at will, unhappy when they lost, and that's what made the league.
Elliot was the guy I was scared to death to play every time I saw him across the floor, and I was never on the same team as him. I don't know why
I had to arrange, man. I had to make sure I kept you two separately to keep the league balanced. So.
Of course, MVPs. And there's the other end of the spectrum. Guys like me, guys like Franklin Poe, who might not be super talented, but you passed on that love of the game to us. What message do you have to those guys who might be watching us?
You know what? I would have to admit, I was just like the both of you guys. I played SummerSlam. I wasn't the most talented player, but I was just so into the league that it just felt so good being a part of it, being a part of a team every summer, being really competitive, being on a SummerSlam team, being competitive with those guys around you, and just kind of believing that
you get better by playing
by playing better players. You get to see so many different faces. The relationships that I've built in SummerSlam, and I'd say to you as well, and I'd say to a lot of the other players, goes miles. The things that I've picked up from working this league, playing this league, I'd say 70% of the connections that I've made in life have been through basketball.
This is truly home.
This is home. This is where it all started.
So name me your all-time SummerSlam team.
All-time SummerSlam team. Okay, we're gonna have
back in the day.
We're gonna have
current
to.
day.
We're gonna have to divvy this up into 3 different eras. We're gonna have to divvy this up.
3 eras.
3
Wow.
eras. The old school.
So old school.
The old school. The old school's mine. I'm not that old, but the old school's my era. Say the Revolution, when you guys came in, all the young guns, and the future.
Okay. Let's start with the past.
All SummerSlam teams. I may be a little bit biased, but I'm gonna have to name one team I played on. I played 1 year in the finals against a lot of aspiring Richmond talent. I remember playing against the likes of Edward Fan, Mark Half Knights. I don't know if those guys ring a bell, but it was kind of back in my day. I remember playing with Thomas Al Young, who's a long time official. Long time official. I played with MJ LeBau. I played with Aubrey Ewan. That one summer, I think that might have been the summer of '03, where I was in grade 9. And we met a team with Mark and Ed in the final, and that was a really competitive year. I'd say in your era, I'd say I think it was '08, the summer of '08. We had a team with Elliot Mason, Jason Wu, Joko Fong, Jackie Cho. That team was stacked. The team was big. They were competitive. And I think they ran into you guys in the final.
And we did.
They ran into these guys. Tell them what happened. All right. They had the likes of VJ Dillon, the likes of Connor Ewan, Joman Fong, and yours truly right over here in the final. Gabe Lee over here. He took over. He took over in the last few minutes. Made baskets.
Free throw for the win.
Free throw for the win. Eliminated that orange team and graced it.
Just like Commissioner said earlier. Winning it means everything.
Graced it with a co-MVP. Was it you and VJ?
Yeah.
You and VJ graced the MVP
Joe,
award that
you
year.
deserved it though. If you're watching this. So how about the future?
The future. There is many young faces in our league now. A lot of guys that you see that grow up over the course of the years from grade 4, 5s that kind of slowly move into 6, 7. I'd say right now in our senior elite division, we have a very competitive Richmond High team. They play tough. I think they're one of the teams in Summerslam that excel so well strictly because of the fact that they are competitive. They're competitive. They have drive. They get frustrated when things aren't going their way, but that is strictly because you know what? That's strictly because they're a competitive team, and I respect them for that. There's a lot of actually aspiring 8, 9 teams that are going on right now.
It's looking pretty good. Since you've been around so long, and we're running a little bit low on time, if you had to pick one of your fondest memories of SummerSlam, what would that be?
Fondest memories. I think my fondest memories of SummerSlam is not only just the basketball that I've seen in the league, seeing all the kids play. I think one of my fondest memories is coming in every day at work and just seeing all the faces grow up over the years, seeing them summer after summer, seeing the individuals grow, especially you. I mean, you started as a 10-year-old, kind of moved up.
Yeah, I sucked
all the
back then.
way. You were a dominating offensive force. And, I mean, those are my memories. Seeing those kids, seeing those faces change over the course of the years, seeing different guys grow up. Crazy times.
So you and SummerSlam go together like peanut butter and jelly, salt and pepper, Kobe and the Lakers. Do you ever think about at the end of your time here?
In the past, I didn't, but now I do. I mean,
Why is
I've been around for so long in this league, and I do love it here. But at some point, the torch does need to be passed. I mean, we have great coordinators. We have a great staff this year. We have 3 other coordinators that I also work with. I work with Katie Hoon, Crystal Wang, Sinan De Leon. All
Great
3 of them have great people. They all have the same vision of SummerSlam and the same goal. But at some point, the torch will be passed. And one of the biggest things that I do look to do is to pass it on to somebody that is passionate, emotional, and has the same love for SummerSlam. And I think that really has to come from somebody that is within the league, that really understands what SummerSlam is.
It's been through the grassroots, right?
Yeah, has been through the grassroots, has been through the highs and lows, and understand everything.
That's all the time we have today. Bernard Lim, Gabe Lee, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Gabe. Thank you for having me.